And we are live. Welcome everyone to Blaugrana Planet. Welcome back to a new live stream. And today I have two special guests here on the live stream because we are going to be discussing the transfer market, which is going on right now, very heated, a lot of rumors. And today I'd like to present you the two special guests that I have today is Hafed, Barça Boy, aka Barça Boy, and Pablo from Barça Universal. Thank you guys for joining me in a special day that is today. We have a very heated transfer market, and there's no better way than having these two special guests on the stream to discuss everything that's going on, the possible departures and the possible arrivals. So welcome, Barça Boy, and welcome, Pablo.
Thank you for having us.
Go on, Hafed.
It's nice to have you. It's very nice to have you always. And yes, so I guess we can start with the departures because we already had the 4 arrivals to Football Club Barcelona. So Eric Garcia, Kun Agüero, Memphis Depay, the latest arrival, and Emerson, who was 50-50 already in Football Club Barcelona. Those are the 4 arrivals. We know they're going to be in the team. But certainly there is an overbooking in many positions, and Joan Laporta is certainly going to be fixing that, as well as signing a few additional players, which he recently mentioned not very long ago. So let's just start with the departures, I guess, because we need to make some room. We cannot just buy players and then expect them to be leaving or just pressure them to leave. I don't think that's the philosophy. That's not the way Joan Laporta is going to be doing things, I guess. Maybe he does. Who knows? It's a new Laporta, although with many things from the old era, right? So let's start discussing those departures. I guess we can start with the goalkeeper. Obviously, Neto. I don't think he's going to be with us, although we don't have many interest from other teams at the moment. We know that Barcelona paid around 20 million with the Stillesen trade that we did, or it was somewhere around that amount. At least that's what the press said. And who do you think that can actually substitute Neto if there's not going to be an arrival? So do you think we can have somebody from Football Club Barcelona B? I don't know if Barça Boy or Pablo, you want to start?
I'll start. So I think the situation with the goalkeepers is actually a little bit worrying because we've been hearing rumors over the past few days that Neto wants to leave the club. Barcelona are open to selling him. But the problem is Ter Stegen. He is injured, he is not fully fit, and there are rumors that he may not make the start of the season. And the reports are saying that Barcelona don't want to start the season off with Iñaki Peña in net, because as you all know, Barcelona beekeeper, he has not made a single appearance yet for Barcelona. So the club do want to keep Neto, but the problem is, of course, he's on 100,000 euros a week, but he wants to leave as well. He's been frozen out of the club, didn't play the Spanish Super Cup, hasn't played Copa del Rey, La Liga, nothing like that. He played the final game, I believe, but that's it. Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So for me, I think the situation is that Barcelona will end up selling Neto, but they will bring in a replacement. And I think it may be Jordi Masip, the former Barcelona goalkeeper, who was the third goalkeeper when we won the treble back in the 14-15 season. He's revived the lid. I don't know if they have been relegated or not. I think they survived by 1 point.
I think they have. Yeah. Atletico
but he'll be
beat them in the last.
That could happen then.
Yeah, I think he'll be cheap, somewhere around 5 to 10 million, because of course, a club like Real Valladolid will take any money they can get. So I think that particularly the goalkeeper situation is a bit worrying. If we do bring in a backup goalkeeper, 100% Iñaki Peña will go out on loan. He will not stay at Barcelona B. It will be Arne Uteas. So we'll see. I think it's one of the problems that we have. I think it's a problem that we have that's currently like under the rug a little bit. So.
Right, certainly. Pablo, any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, the goalkeeper situation is a weird one. I think we kind of were all expecting maybe Neto to be sold and then Iñaki Peña to be the number 2. That was like kind of what we all kind of wanted / were hearing, but kind of like Hafed said, maybe they're not prepared to give Iñaki Peña the full limelight in the number 2 spot. Maybe they're not prepared to say, for example, we draw Sevilla in the Copa del Rey. I just don't feel as if they actually will trust Iñaki Peña. With Ter Stegen's injury to start the season, say we have a few La Liga games that Iñaki Peña has to play. Of course, we need points as soon as we can get them in La Liga. I don't really think they trust him. So I think, look, they'll try and keep Neto, but he wants to leave And if a good offer arrives, it's probably good money for us, to be honest, to get 10, 15 million for Neto, depending on how much we get. And maybe then it will be to look to someone like Jordi Masip to bring in.
Right, definitely. I'm with you both here. I think Neto wants to leave himself. It's not that we want to kick him out. It's coming from him. We need the money. Although I'm afraid that in this market, I'm not sure if we're gonna get that 20 million euros that we're all expecting. Maybe half of it or 15 if it's a good deal.
Yeah,
I really liked what Barça boy mentioned about Jordi Masip. He knows the house. He knows he's from La Masia, really, and he's gonna come for cheap. He's not gonna be asking for crazy amounts. He's not like the European top level goalkeeper, anyways. But he's been very nice in Valladolid, and I would like actually to see Jordi Masip as a second keeper. Iñaki Peña, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Neither are Arnau Tenas. They're not ready to actually be playing important games. If Ter Stegen is going to be injured for, I don't know, 1 month, the first month of La Liga, we certainly need somebody that's going to be there that's reliable.
That's the problem,
yeah, he can do the job, because we could easily lose La Liga in those first games, right? Dropping points against small teams. That's
what happened last season.
That's what happened last season. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I like what Hafed said here about Jordi Masip and possibly Iñaki Peña. Maybe they trust him for a bit. We will see. I don't know how bad it's Ter Stegen's injury. I know it's been coming from long. It's not something that he needed to operate immediately, but he wanted to because he had a lot of discomfort. Yeah, basically. So yeah, we'll move on from there. Obviously, Neto is going to be leaving, so that's probably one of the first departures. Then moving into the defense, right? So the defense, we actually have a bunch of overbooking in the center back positions.
Yeah,
Titi earning 12 million per year, 1 million a month, not playing a single game. Flying knee, his knee is somewhere else.
Don't worry, man. He's working out. Don't worry about
it. Yeah, he's getting buff. I know he's getting buff, but it's all about the knee here. We don't do push-ups in the field. And also, we do have a lot of upcoming players. None of them are left-footed. That's some sort of a problem that Barcelona has. We were well covered with Prime Umtiti and Lenglet. Both left-footed. They were covering the left center back position. Now we're only left with Lenglet, very regular, and we have a bunch of players lined up in order to be their substitutes. The problem is that neither of them are left-footed. So, what do you think about the Umtiti situation, guys? Do you think that Umtiti can actually be departing? Is there any team interested? Pablo, do you want to start maybe now?
Yeah. I mean, we've got a big issue at centre back really, because like you said, Umtiti's salary, it just makes it impossible to sell. No one is going to pay 12 million a year for Umtiti. That's going to be more than his transfer fee. So, it's going to be hard to get rid of Umtiti, really hard. And I wonder whether I think Laporta and Eduardo Romero said yesterday that they might have to terminate some players' contracts with some of that loan from Goldman Sachs. So. Let's see what happens with that. Umtiti could be one of those players that we have to put some money to the side to actually terminate his contract. But in the rest of the defence, like you said, I think we'll want 5 centre-backs going into the season. Right now, that seems clear. But I think if they want to bring someone else in, then Longley will have to be sold and replaced with a left-footed centre-back, whether that'll be Laporta, Pau Torres, Lisandro Martinez. Who knows right now? There's nothing concrete on incomings. But in terms of sales, I think we've got the 4 in Piqué, Eric Garcia, Araujo, and Mingueza that we want to keep. But then we've got Longley as the 5th right now. Umtiti, we want to move on with Todibo. But like I said, if we want to bring someone else in, then we can't have 6 centre-backs. So that means Longley will also have to be sold, which I think is going to be so difficult to sell Longley and Umtiti. That's my view on the centre-back situation right now.
Right. Barça boy?
Spot on, absolutely spot on. I think I'm going to bring that up as well. Umtiti's done no matter what. When we terminate his contract, get somebody for him, whatever. He won't be a Barcelona player next season. And again, with Lenglet, it's the same thing. If we want to bring in another center back this season, Lenglet has to go, because you want to have 5. You want to have 4, but you're going to have 5 in case Coleman wants to go back to the 3 at the back. You want to have that option there. Of course, Mingueza can play left back, right back, and center back. So you can be that, Roberto player in the defense. So if you want a center back like Laporte, Lisandro Martinez, whoever, Lenglet and Umtiti have to go, and that's going to be tough because Lenglet has come out, before the Euro started, saying, "Look, I'm not going to go to Barcelona. I'm not leaving. I'm not going to be involved in any swap deals. I want to stay." Umtiti, we'll get to a point where Umtiti is going to, terminate his contract. So it's a bit of a situation for Barcelona. I think we do need a top center back, and it has to be left-footed as well, like Balgana Planet said, because you already have 4 right-footers in Araujo, Eric Garcia, Piqué, Mingueza. And I think Aymeric Laporte is the perfect option, although he didn't play too well the other day. But what's available on the market and our opportunity, I think Laporte would be the best option out there. But yeah, Umtiti has to leave. Lenglet, you could stick with him if you can't find anyone else. But if you want to bring in someone else, he has to leave.
No. I agree with you at the point that Umtiti is the main problem, right? Terminating his contract is going to be another problem because we need to reach an agreement with him because we cannot pay him 12 million euros just to terminate the contract. We'd rather have him in the bench, we're going to have to pay him anyways. So if we reach an agreement maybe to terminate his contract for half of the amount or something like that, maybe that would be a chance because from my understanding is that the player doesn't want to leave, right? I mean, he's here, he's comfy, he has a good contract, playing in Barcelona, not doing anything. And so moving into the other players, I understand people criticize Lenglet. He's very inconsistent. That's the truth. We
just the past season. I wouldn't say he's been consistent throughout his whole Barcelona career. Just the past season.
Yeah, just the past season, right? We've seen some sort of consistency in Lenglet in other seasons, and I think people are like focusing on Lenglet a bit too much. I think that, for example, Lenglet is more experienced than Mingueza. Okay, I think that if you put side to side Mingueza, Lenglet, possibly Lenglet is going to be better in all of the outcomes. Like if you make a small resume of all the outcomes, possibly Lenglet will be better, right? I understand Mingueza is coming from La Masia, but let's be realistic. Mingueza isn't a better center back than Lenglet. Maybe it's at the same level, because Mingueza has flopped a lot as well, and this is probably unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. I think people have been focusing too much on Lenglet, on a bit unfairly, and as I always do, I put my hand on the fire. You guys very well know what I do. This is real, so that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I will give Lenglet a chance, but Umtiti, man.
I think another point to add there is that you have to look at the preferred foot as well. If Mingueza is right-footed, Lenglet's left-footed, you want to keep Lenglet ahead of him because you cannot go to the season with 5 right-footed center backs. You can't. You have to have 1 left foot there for that option. You can play it with 2 right foot. We've done it with Piqué and Mascherano, but you have to have a left there just in case different tactic through the back or whatever. So
exactly, and I think for Barcelona style of play, it's critical because the speed of passing the ball. When you're left-footed and you're passing to the left wing, man, it naturally comes in. But if you're right-footed and you have to do that
shift your whole body,
exactly, it's going to be way tougher for you, and that's going to become a problem, long term. I know Mingueza played left winger, left back, at some points in La Masia, but he's not a natural left-footed. Therefore, the same problem is going to be there. So I agree with you. I think Laporte, Pau Torres are possibly the main candidates here, but we will see. We will see how it happens. Maybe we start the season only having Lenglet as the left-footed. Who knows? It could happen. It could happen.
I think so.
It could happen. Honestly, to me, right now, I see 70% chances that we start the season with only 1 left-footed center back.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we also have right back position, which is pretty much covered. Emerson Dest. Left back position, Junior Firpo is leaving, right? He's going to be leaving to the AC Milan. Everything indicates that's going to be happening. And who do you think could be his replacement? Everyone wants Gaia, but at the point, Gaia, I'm not sure how difficult, how easy it's going to be to hire him. I assume that it's going to be a bit difficult. Valencia are having a lot of troubles, but it's their captain as well, So we have Gusens here, as Mehdi says here on the comments. Gosens has been pretty good in the last not the last game. People know him because of the last game in the Euros, but actually he's been playing nice throughout the last couple seasons, and is a player that honestly I haven't really checked too much, but it could be also another possibility. But if it's the same price as Gaia, then I'm gonna have to go for Gaia because it's literally like a clone
He is.
Jordi Alba.
It's going to be the same price. Atlanta renewed his contract. They extended his clause a few weeks ago, and he's going to cost around 35 million. We're hearing Jose is going to be around 40 million, but I think Valencia will bring that down. They're in desperate need of money, and of course, guys going to push for a move. We do have that big factor, Mateo Alemany with us as well, so that can play a big role. For me, the top three would probably be Jose Gaia, Alex Grimaldo, or Robin Gosens. We're hearing reports today that Koeman has actually asked Joan Laporta to bring in Robin Gosens as that backup left back. I think for his price, it's a bit of a risk. Also, he plays left wing back. He doesn't play left back. He plays more so like a left mid position. He's with Atlanta. They play the 3-5-2. He has the two center mids, the three center backs behind him, so he can go forward no problem. So him having coming back to do defensive work at Barcelona is going to make it difficult for him. So I think we could all agree that Jose Gaia is the number one option. The question is, can we get him? Can we find the money? And can Valencia reduce their asking price? Because if they don't, we're not going to get him. They're asking for his release clause as well. I didn't even know that. 40 million release clause, or you can't have him. I think that's ridiculous, especially for what the problem they have financially. But I think Jose Gaia, and I think backup Grimaldo, 20 million, Benfica, former La Masia player as well. I think he'd be a great shout. He's also younger than both of them as well. So I'd say Jose Gaia, but secondly, backup, I'd go with Grimaldo.
Pablo?
Yeah, for me, for a while, it's been Gaia is the one that I want. It really has been. I think he's the best. He's the most mature at left back, good defensively and strong in attack as well. But at the same time, it's a dream. I think having Alaba and Gaia in one team is, it's going to be difficult. I think we could do it because of Valencia's financial situation, but you've got Gaia, for example, who's trying to beat Jordi Alba to be the left back in the Spanish national team. I'm not sure if he'd be prepared to then say, you know what, forget that. I'm going to go and just be the sub to Jordi Alba at Barcelona. I don't know if that dynamic would work, to be honest. But for me, I would go for Gaia. I'm still convinced we can get the price down as well. And say we make some money from sales, I don't know, Todibo, either one of Emerson or Sergio Roberto. Right. You've got one of the centre-backs, maybe Junior Firpo. If we gather some money together, I think that if we put 25, 30 into Gaia, for example, I think it's perfect. I really do. But like I said, it's going to be difficult with Alba there as well. Some people mentioning Balde. I think, we mentioned Iñaki Peña earlier. I think it's kind of similar. The guy hasn't even played a single minute or trained with the first team. So, yeah, it's just, I don't see that happening. Gosens, I kind of agree with what Hafed said. He's a little too attacking if we are to play the back four. And I think, people are just, because he scored a goal against Portugal and he was really good, people are going mental. But he's a good player, sure, for Atalanta, but I'd prefer Gaia. I think he's the best rounded. He'd be the one I'd go for. But like I said, and like you guys have been saying, there could be some difficulties there.
Right, definitely, yeah. From looking at the options, to me, he's the one. He's the chosen one. Balde, as you guys said, he's too young. He's a kid. He was playing. He was playing in the team before Barça B, which is called the Juvenil. Can't get the word in English, but it's like he's not ready. He's not ready. You can't play the kid in a Champions League game.
We just watch YouTube highlights. I think he's the best left back. The best thing. So.
I mean, he's a project, he's a really good talent.
Player,
we'll see how he develops.
Remember Juan Miranda? We did the exact same thing with him. What happened? Jordi Alba played 60 games and we sold Miranda for 500K.
Yeah,
so.
Right. Yeah, no, but I wouldn't compare it because Miranda is a bit
I'm comparing this
profile.
not the player. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know, and yeah, exactly what you mean. Yeah. Anyways, all right, so let's move on because we'll have 10 more minutes. Let's cover the midfield. I think the midfield is we have some sort of overbooking at this point. We have a lot of midfielders. We have loan midfielders, even Monchu, Aleñá, these players that obviously they don't have space in Barcelona. But Ronald Koeman was pressuring to get Wijnaldum, right? So if Wijnaldum is not arriving, then what's going to happen? Because he certainly wants somebody of the likes of Wijnaldum, somebody that has that strength, somebody that has the power. I'm not so sure if Wijnaldum, the profile of Wijnaldum is the fit for Barcelona. We know Busquets needs a replacement. I'm not so sure if Frenkie de Jong can actually be a natural replacement, because Frankie de Jong has that offensive thinking, offensive talent, and we would be missing that offensive style if we were playing him as a holding midfielder, right? So certainly Barcelona could be looking for a replacement for Busquets. I don't know what you guys think about this situation. Jafet, you want to start?
So there is overbooking in the midfield. Fernandez, Pjanic, Alina, Monchu, 100% out. So you're looking at Busquets, De Jong, Pedri, let's say, as starting three, and you have Ricky Puig on the bench. So 100% going to bring in the midfielder. We're hearing rumors that Mariba's going to get promoted to the first team. We'll have to wait and see. I think Wijnaldum, I'm on the fence with him. I think he would have been a good fit for Ronald Koeman's system. Again, not the age we want, but again, on a free deal. Pablo talked about, he tweeted about this the other, a few hours ago. He would have done a job on the short term, right? And then we could focus on other positions, left backs, center backs. But now we don't have him. We have to focus on 3 different positions. Would have saved us, a lot of time. It's of course disappointing to lose a player to a rival as well. I think for me, I have no idea who to bring in the midfield. If there's some dream signs I want, Kimmich, Fabian Ruiz, all these other players, but those are unattainable. And right now, Barcelona don't know who they want either. They want a midfielder 100%. Ronald Koeman is asking Laporta, look, all I want is a midfielder. Bring me the midfielder. I'll be happy. You can bring whatever left back. I'll ask for Gosens, whatever. He wants a midfielder, and I think we need one as well. You cannot go in the season with Busquets, De Jong, Pedri again, playing 60-plus games each. So we're going to get one. The question is who at this point.
Right, Pablo?
Yeah, the midfield one's really interesting because, like Hafed said, I think Koeman is clearly he's kind of insistent that we need a new profile in midfield. But now that he's lost his main man in Wijnaldum, I'm intrigued to see who we actually end up going for in the end. To be honest, I think a few people have said Donny van de Beek. I think van de Beek on loan would be a pretty good option. You talk about talk about low cost and just getting in a play. He's very good at arriving into the box, similar to Wijnaldum. But what we've heard from the Spanish press is that that's not the profile that Koeman wants. So, you know what? Maybe that won't happen, but I don't know. Maybe we look to La Masia, in my opinion, would be a good option. Nico, Handro, even the guys out on loan, I think. You look at Monchu, that's kind of the sort of profile Koeman wants. He's a little bit stronger. He's very good at arriving into the box. He's got a lot of goals for Barcelona B in the 1920 season. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to go and sign someone else. And like Hafed said, more money into the midfield that we can't focus on the defense, which is irritating, to be honest. But I don't know. The midfield situation is weird. We haven't really heard any names. I'm sure we will as the weeks go on. But what it's sounding like is that Koeman wants to sign a player. Let's just see what profile it is, and let's see who it is in the end.
Right. To me, for example, jumping into La Masia players, I don't think Nico is ready to be a reliable substitute of Busquets. Yeah. When I say reliable, is you imagine Busquets gets injured. You need to play Nico for the next month. I don't see it. He's too young. He had a really good season in Barça B, but I think one more year in Barça B would be perfect for Nico. Coming in and out of the first team, that will get him strong. Get the mentality.
I think he has to train every time, though. He has to train with the first team every week.
Right. A bit like Elites this season, then.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we didn't mention Ilash. Ilash is pretty much. It's the style, right? But I think what Koeman is looking for is experience, right? Because Ilaix Moriba is a power man. This guy is a power. Is just strong, has that speed, has that ambition, but he lacks that experience, which I wouldn't value that much. Because look at Pjanic, for example. You say, oh, Pjanic comes with experience, and then total flop. You have Puig there dying in the bench while he has that ambition, and that's what we're missing here in Barcelona. So I think no arrivals in the midfield if you trust in Moriba. But if Koeman doesn't trust in him...
No, you have to bring in a midfielder. There's no way. Because you have to remember, right? Just add to point to everything. Messi's going to sign a 2-year contract.
Mateus Fernandez. I'm joking.
Messi's going to sign a 2-year contract. In those 2 years, we have got to win a Champions League. And we're not winning a Champions League with Nico Gonzalez and Moriba on the bench. Let's be real. Maybe Ricky Puig, but you have to bring in, I wouldn't even like a 28, 29-year-old, something like a Griezmann profile, Depay profile. It doesn't have to be, a 33-year-old. You could bring in Paulinho, free agent. But
bring it on, dude. Paulinho, underrated.
Yeah, roll it back. But you have to bring in a midfielder. You can't. People talk about even Pablo mentioned youth, all this stuff. I think right now you shouldn't be focusing on youth because we gotta win something before Messi leaves, man. Because we got 2 years, 3 years at the max with this option to buy that Alex talked about a few times, which I haven't seen. Hopefully that's the case. So we cannot go on. We can have a little bit of La Masia in there, but it can't fully be like fully trusted La Masia, I don't think.
Yeah. Certainly, we need more skillful players from La Masia. More not skillful, I'd say ready. I think they're too young. They're just too young at this point. And we need
Too much pressure too.
Yeah, exactly. And we need immediate performance now. The people are gonna go back to the stadium. People, when you're a kid and you see, I don't know how many people are gonna be there. I'll be there. But I don't know how many people we're gonna fit in. Maybe 60,000, 70,000. That's like I don't know. Arsenal Stadium, for example.
That's Old Trafford almost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, pretty much. All right. So we'll talk about the midfield possibly later in the summer when we have more concrete names. Now finalizing the stream with the forwards. I think pretty much the arrivals are done. So we have Depay, we have El Kun Agüero. Now we need to make some room, right, for those players. Braithwaite, Trincao are here in a position of pressure right now at this point. The problem is Braithwaite came in with a 19 million euro transfer fee. No, Bartomeu, there's your Bartomeu present. And Trincao was around 17 million euros. Can't remember well, or even
31.
27.
31
million euros. Yeah, exactly. So that is Jorge Mendes for you.
Yeah.
So at this point, Trincao is a bit of a flop. You could give the man one more year, but he's just not going to play in Barcelona now that Depay is here. Ansu Fati is going to be ready. Griezmann, you have Dembele. We'll see how Dembele gets fit for the season. Hopefully, the injury that he got is not too bad. But at this point, Braithwaite, who's gonna get Braithwaite? I don't see any rumors of Braithwaite leaving Barcelona.
No, it'll be easy to sell Braithwaite. Don't worry, it'll be easy because it's gonna be Premier League clubs coming in, Southampton, West Brom, all those type of teams. It's gonna be easy to sell Braithwaite. The big question is about Trincao. Do you loan him? Do you sell him? If you get a good offer, I think Laporta will take it. I think a loan would very likely. Maybe Wolves will come in. Jorge Mendes will save us again like he did with Nelson Semedo, but the 6 forwards next season are going to be Messi, Aguero, Griezmann, Dembele, Ansu, and Memphis because you have 6 top quality forwards there, and you have 2 that are basically on one leg in Depay and Ansu. You cannot. I've seen people saying, "Oh, you have to sell Dembele and Griezmann." You guys are absolutely crazy. We have 2 years left of Messi. We got to win the Champions League. We got to win some trophies. We're not winning trophies with Alex Collado and Trincao on the bench. So you have these 6 forwards. You can't really rely on Dembele and Ansu. Maybe Ansu when he comes back. He's been out for almost a year now, so gotta give him some slack. So you have those 4 main ones in Griezmann, Messi, Aguero, Depay, who probably start the season off most of the time. But you have to keep those 6. If Dembele, of course, doesn't want to renew his contract, you sell him this summer. Well, I don't know if we can because he's gonna be out for 3 months. You can't do any medicals. We can't sell him. So I think that's gonna be our 6 forwards for next season, like I just mentioned. And people talk about Coutinho. I think Coutinho's done 20 million. I think the club will probably loan him and pay half his wages.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Coutinho.
We'll send him to Everton. We'll send him to Arsenal, something like that, and we'll end up paying still 100K a week for him, but it's still better than 300K a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, the front 6 that I mentioned will be the front 6, and unless Dembele doesn't renew his contract.
Right. So Pablo, what do you think about the forward positions? Dembele, for example, what's going on?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the starting strikers for next season?
Wow, it's hard. I think that the 6 that Hafed named that's the dream, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It seems to me that those are 6 too good players. I think
if they agree on a salary reduction, then certainly
just Griezmann. All of them can keep their salary. Messi's going to renew his contract. He's going to be on.
Dembele also earns like what 10.
Well, yeah, that's it. But Griezmann, right, with that
contract
renewal. Yeah.
Dembele's the one. Dembele's the one in the weird situation now because of his injury, and there were already rumors before he got injured that he was stalling his contract to go for free in 2022, and it wasn't a good situation anyway. And now that he's injured for 3 months, we're hearing with an operation. Well, we're in trouble. We're in trouble with Dembele. So if we sell Dembele, maybe we keep Trincao. If we don't keep Trincao, then maybe we invest the money in somewhere else. But let's see what happens. I think obviously you've got Aguero, Messi,
Collado.
and
Collado.
Fati. Then you've got Griezmann, Depay.
Yeah, but
I don't
let's
know.
remember that Messi is always going to be playing. So that's
Yeah.
one position locked. You have Aguero and Fati. They can play number 9. Ansu Fati can
Depay
play
as well.
anywhere, really. Depay as well. Actually, Depay is second, number 9, possibly. Depay, I see Depay more in the left wing, coming in to the center. Griezmann, you can put him on the right wing, coming in as well. So you leave space for the fullbacks, Jordi Alba and Emerson or Serginho. We create actually a very powerful attack in there. Agüero have him in the box. So I think Trincao, Braithwaite.
Don't rule out the 4-2-3-1. We may start with 4 attackers. Messi at the cam, Depay at the cam, Griezmann at the cam. So you'll have 3 starting at least minimum. You'll have 2 on the bench. You'll have the injured one Dembele or the injured one Ansu Fati at home. That's what it has to be, in my opinion. You can't go if you want to keep sell Dembele, you want to keep Trincao or Collado. I'm okay with that. But we should not be selling Griezmann, Griezmann and Dembele both in the same window. There's no way.
I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep Mateus Fernandez. You can play there in the attack.
Yeah, Koeman trains him there. Koeman puts him as striker in the training. So you know what? Might as well.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let me know in the comments down below. We have 223 people watching right now. Please, guys, remember to smash the like button. Important, so we get the algorithm going, and also make Barça boy and happy and Pablo happy. And and thank them as well for joining me today. We want to make the stream short. 30 minutes is fine. So we'll end it here. Most probably, I can't even speak right now. Most probably we'll do a second market update, because summer is long, a lot of names being in the air, and Laporta with a plan, secret plan at the moment. So guys, remember to smash the like button. And before we leave, thank you, Barça boy, for joining the live stream. Pablo as well, thank you so much, and really looking forward to the next one. Right, guys, have a good one. All the best, my people.
See you guys.
See ya. Take care, everyone.